I wish I could make reaction videos, but I was born in 1956. I've heard all these songs. What could I possibly react to?
I was worth it, found my purpose, rarely a bit to the surface, the reward of constantly working.
Hey whippersnappers, Brian here to Boomer Reacts. Welcome back. If this is your first time here, thanks for checking me out. I listen to rap and hip-hop songs using lyric videos, and then I let you know what I thought about them. As you can see, I'm going to be reacting to Streets Are Callin' Me by Woodie. Woodie, a few songs by Woodie have been on my request list for a while, but just recently I've had some people, asking for him, and it seemed like the most popular request was Streets Are Callin' Me. So the person who requested this did tell me that Woodie had died, and that that his story, was quite the tale. So I'm gonna read Woodie's tale, just so we know what's going on, and then I'll get into the reaction. Woodie was born Ryan Wood in 1975, and he died in 2007. That would make him 32 that year. Wow, young. He was born and raised in Antioch. So the city in California is called Antioch. Antioch. But we don't, in California, we don't say Antioch. That's just too much trouble. So we call it Antioch. It's easier. And it's about less than an hour northeast of Oakland. Woodie grew up in an environment filled with gangs, drugs, violence, and crime. He became immersed in gang life at 14 when he joined the Norteños street gang. Norteños, North something. Northerners, maybe? People from the north? Northerners? Woodie attended Antioch High School and a couple other alternative or continuation schools where he was known for his breakdancing and later for his rapping. He never graduated high school. In April of '94, a drive-by shooting at a Norteños house party, Ray Ramirez was struck by a bullet that paralyzed him from the waist down. His 17-year-old brother, Carlos Ramirez, a friend of Woodie's known as Blackbird, was present. Also present was Woodie's friend Gabe Roberson, also known as Snoop, who immediately left the party and walked home. Some of the other Norteños planned instant retaliation against their rival gang, the Sureños, who everyone knew had planned the attack, so Southerners and Northerners. That same night, a Sureño named Cristobal Lozano was attending a quinceañera not as an invited guest, but as a friend of the band. Some Norteños trailed him to the quinceañera, and after a Norteño opened the door to verify that Cristobal was there, two men entered and opened fire, killing one partygoer and wounding 4 others, while Cristobal got away. Cristobal was later charged for the shooting at the house party, but was cleared by the police. None of the partygoers got a good look at the shooters except as shadowy figures, and no immediate charges were filed. In January of '95 at a Taco Bell in Antioch, a yellow Malibu full of Norteños fired into a BMW after a passenger had yelled at them. One person was hit in the hip, but no one died. It was easy for eyewitnesses to identify the shooter because of his red-tinted hair, and the police arrested Ryan Wood, aka Woodie. He pled the charge down to aggravated assault and spent a year incarcerated at Folsom Prison, which is, like hour and a half east of Antioch. It's on the other side of Sacramento. In November of '95, a 17-year-old named Martin Maya was shot and killed in Antioch. Police identified the murder suspect as Carlos Ramirez, aka Blackbird, who had been present at the shooting of his brother Ray at the house party. A judge issued a warrant for his arrest, but Blackbird could not be found, theorizing that he had fled to Mexico. The police were trying to find evidence that Blackbird had been one of the shooters at the quinceañera, but unable to do so since Blackbird was missing. They focused their efforts on identifying the second shooter, and by November '96, they felt sure that it was Gabe Roberson, aka Snoop, who maintained his innocence during an interview with police at Susanville Prison, where he was serving a sentence for home burglary. 9 months later, still with no confession, the district attorney charged Snoop, and he went to trial in '97. In court, the only person who positively identified Snoop as the shooter was Alfredo Ramirez, one of the 4 victims that had survived, and also the uncle of 15-year-old Christina, who was celebrating her quinceañera. It was brought out in testimony that months before, at a preliminary hearing, Alfredo had stated that the shooter had distinctive reddish blonde hair. The plot thickens. The jury was deadlocked on the verdict and the judge declared a mistrial. 5 months later, Snoop was retried, found guilty, and convicted to life in prison for 1 count of murder and 4 attempted murders. Out of prison and fed up with gang-related violence, Woodie dedicated himself to rap in early '98. In early '98, using money he got from selling his car, he formed East Co Records. That's just C-O period, capital C-O period, capital C-O period. Not like chocolate cocoa. The Cocoa stands for Contra Costa County, the county where he grew up. Could have made Contra Costa County. So he started East Cocoa Records and started to create songs for his debut album called Yawk Influenced, which was released in '98. Oh, Antioch. Unlike most other rappers, Woodie produced the entire album himself, creating a distinct and easy recognizable song. He sold the tapes out of his trunk, and he delivered a few hundred tapes to Rock Bottom Records in Antioch, his hometown record store. The tapes quickly sold out, and a buzz about the local rapper overtook the town of Antioch. Woodie then had the album pressed on CD, and he delivered them to independent record stores all over Northern California. Yawk Influenced was an enormous success and propelled Woodie into the forefront of Bay Area gangsta rap. Not long after, Yawk Influenced was being sold at Tower Records and Sam Goody's. A few months after the release of Yawk Influence, Blackbird returned to Antioch. All right. He broke into his ex-girlfriend's home, shot at her parents, wounding her father, and she and her parents fled the house, leaving Blackbird alone with his 2 daughters. This led to a 42-hour standoff between SWAT and Blackbird, which ended with all 3 dead. Yikes. The police called it a murder-suicide, but nobody believed that Blackbird killed his daughters and then shot himself in the head. The coroner's report came out, and Blackbird's cause of death was 3 gunshots to the head, 1 graze and 2 fatal. The police lied about it? I just don't believe that. Woodie was devastated. So I'm going to be reacting to The Streets Are Callin', which is track 5 on Yawk Influenced and produced by Woodie. I know in my bios that I don't go past the year when this song was released, but I'm too curious about how Woodie died. Oh, this is interesting. Woodie continued to rap about Snoop's loyalty and innocence with lyrics that hinted at who he thought the real killer was. On the song Summer Breeze from his album Northern Exposure, Volume 1, the lyrics read, "I can't appreciate enough the days like this I live to see. If it wasn't for a homie like Snoop, Snoop would be me." On March 7, 2007, Woodie's life came to an end under circumstances that are still not entirely clear. His death is veiled in mystery. While some reports suggest he took his own life in Florence, Oregon, official records to confirm these details have not been located. Some believe that he drank himself into a deep and dark depression because his wife, Harpal Rana, was killed in a car accident, and also because he felt responsible for the murder that Snoop was serving life in prison for. Woodie never hired an appeal lawyer and never confessed to the shooting, despite letting Gabriel know that eventually he would do so. Gabriel is Snoop. Rapper AWAX released a single named East Coco, in which it is alleged that Woodie left a will and a confession tape before he died. Rumors of a confession tape have been denied. Wow, well, that is quite the story. That needs to be a movie. Wow. Okay. Let's give it a listen. The streets are calling me.
My mama always told me it was gonna be days like this.
I live a lifestyle covered up by dark clouds, dealing with these suckers, but they only seen the bar clouds. Still I keep a strap for when I come across a killer. I dread the day I'll have to fight the killer in the mirror. I wake up every morning, hit my fifth and hope I live. Just another day to see what tomorrow's got to give. I'm addicted to the liquor in the dance. I feel the sticker off another 40. I also wonder how did my life get here. My only goals are staying drunk and eliminating fun. Fucking hoes are rolling triple goals of bass up in the truck. My mother asked me every day are you still banging? I lie and tell her no, but her heart knows I ain't changed none. I hate to see her cry, wipe the tears from her eyes, and try to tell her everything is gonna be alright. I hug her tightly as I leave, it bothers me, but for now I gotta go, cause the streets are calling me. My mother prays that I quit the life I lead. Damn, I try to change my ways, but these streets are calling me. And I love her to death, but at the same time I'm a soldier. I gotta put in work, let rivals know they can't get over. My mother prays that I quit the life I lead. Damn, I try to change my ways, but these streets are calling me. And I love her to death, but at the same time I'm a soldier. I gotta put in work, let rivals know they can't get over. I'm a yacht influence soldier taking chances, along with all my homeboys up in drug-induced trances. Evil dances through our thoughts as we plot different strategies to kill our enemies and not get caught. Since my homie got shot in the spine, he's been paralyzed. I see nothing but deep despair when I stare into his eyes. I feel my anger rise as I think about his character. He never hurt nobody, just a homeboy that was there for you. The streets are really fair and that's a hard lesson learned, but you realize quick enough after a few times getting burned. The streets are cold, bits of love, but mostly greed is all they hold. You in my way, I burn a load and make your head explode. Now what? That's my motto, living in the bottle. Hit the throttle, let the shit start to get too thick, break out the fully auto. My mother prays that I quit the life I lead. Damn, I try to change my ways, but these streets are calling me. And I love her to death, but at the same time I'm a soldier. I gotta put in work, let rivals know they can't get over. My mother prays that I quit the life I lead. Damn, I try to change my ways, but these streets are calling me. And I love her to death, but at the same time I'm a soldier. I gotta put in work, let rivals know they can't get over. Just got done creasing up my khakis, put my Nikes on. I hear my homeboys outside honking the horn, I guess tonight's on. Grab the tray, snubby, give my mom's a kiss goodbye. As I hop into the ride, she prays that I come home alive. I can't justify my life because I know I'm living wrong. What the fuck do you expect me to do when the funk is on? Try to get along with my rivals, fool, you must be joking. What you smoking? Hollow tips and pistol clips is what I got for punks approaching. I'm trying to get ahead, spitting hollered at these rivals wrapped up in this life of begging. Got me homicidal, better check my vital signs since I'm living half dead. Violent thoughts got my brain washed, fucking with my head. Wake up sweating in my bed, do the nightmares got my body tense, but still I'm prepared to die for this so-called nonsense, cause everything is fucked up. The whole world is corrupt, I'll never switch up on my homies, so consider me stuck. Fuck, I ain't tripping though, yeah my money's sitting low, but still I got enough to get up for her at the liquor store and clothes on my back, plus a gap for these rivals, all my only necessities for survival. My mother prays that I quit the life I lead. Damn, I try to change my ways, but these streets are calling me. And I love her to death, but at the same time I'm a soldier. I gotta put in work, let rivals know they can't get over. My mother prays that I quit the life I lead. Damn, I try to change my ways, but these streets are calling me. And I love her to death, but at the same time I'm a soldier. I gotta put in work, let rivals know they can't get over. My mother prays that I quit the life I lead. Damn, I try to change my ways, but these streets are calling me. And I love her to death, but at the same time I'm a soldier. I gotta put in work, the rappers know they can't get over.
I liked it. The very beginning threw me off because it was totally different than the rest of the song. The few lines that he spoke at the very beginning, and then it started with verse 1. I thought, what happened? Did another song start? But it was the same song, and his outro was different than the rest of the song too. I don't know what the female vocalist was saying, but it was a cool effect. He's got an interesting flow. It's a comfortable flow. To me, it doesn't seem like he's going for polished and ditty. He's just doing his own thing in his home studio. So it seems very authentic, and of course he lived this life, so what he's saying is true. I kind of forget the timeline. So he didn't mention Blackbird or Snoop in this, but he did talk about Ray Ramirez, my homie, got shot in the spine. He's been paralyzed. I forget. So this was released in '98. I don't know when he wrote it. Released in '98. So had Blackbird disappeared by then? Let me go back to my. November of '95 is when Blackbird went on the run. And Snoop went to trial in early '97. And then it was a mistrial, and then he had another one a few months later. So, close to where this, when this album came out, he, got sentenced to life for something that perhaps Woodie did, and Snoop is just being loyal. It kind of breaks my heart. I know snitching's not a good thing, but you give up your whole life. You go in when you're 22 or something. You give up your whole life to protect someone else, and then Woodie. I don't know if all this is true, but if Woodie did kill himself, it just seems like, if you're going to kill yourself, why don't you at least clear Snoop first? Before you do that. It just makes my heart break for Snoop. So I'm assuming that in later albums like this one they mentioned, the one that's called Northern Exposure Volume 1, and he talks about Snoop in that, so I'm assuming he talks about Blackbird in that as well. So let me know if future songs are about his friends. So it's a good song. I love that the beat was very R&B, but the lyrics were very street. A nice juxtaposition. I'm totally open to doing more Woodie. I'd like to do something where he talks about Snoop especially, and or Blackbird. So if you guys know of a good one that he talks about those guys, let me know. Well, thanks for hanging with me, guys. If you like this kind of content, give me a like and a subscribe. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.